Welcome everyone to Snapshots third chapter. And what is it? First and second chapter is over. This is the third chapter, Ranga's marriage. By seeing the title, you must have come to know what it is about. Okay, it's about a marriage of a person named Ranga. Right? Now, before that, I'll just talk about the writer. Who is he? Masti Venkatesha Iyengar. Hearing the name, you must have come to know, or the thought must have come to your mind that he is some South Indian writer, right? So, he is from Canada. He is a Canadian writer, okay? And he was awarded the Gyanpith Award. What is it? You have heard of Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, and all these awards. But this is Gyanpith Award, and it is one of the highest literary honor. Literary means for literature, the respect or honor which is given, and that's in India. So it's the Gyanpith Award. So this is a small description or something I tried to tell you about the writer. Now, what is this story about? This story is centered around, or I would say moves around what? It's a sort of a conflict also between what I've just written. You can see about tradition and modernity. You know what is tradition? Okay, old days people were stick to traditions. They should get marriage among the caste, and that limited area is there. From that place only the guy or the girl should be following the traditions and things. Simple things were there those periods. And modern age, what happens now? Intercaste marriages are going on. So people have become flexible and so on. So this tradition, the conflict or the dilemma, I would say, okay, this between what? Between tradition and modernity. This is seen where? In Ranga's mind also. Regarding what? Regarding the marriage and his belief about marriage. How he thinks about marriage. What are his thoughts regarding marriage? That is how the story is centered around. Okay, so this is the small description I had given before the story. Now I would move on to the main story. Let's see. The introduction. Ranga, the accountant's son, is one of the rare breed among the village flock. Village flock is the group. Rare, hardly that sort of a person is seen in the village who has been to the city to pursue his studies. Okay, village people, they are normally educated in the schools whichever are there in the village only. But here Ranga was different from others. How? He was one of the person among the villagers who had got pursue means achieved his education or studies were in the city. And when he comes back to the village, okay, after 6 months or so, he has gone to study in Bangalore, and this place where he stays, okay, that is in Mysore. The village is in Mysore. I'll just as I move on with the story, I'll let you know about the place also, his name, village, and how the writer is trying to describe the thing. Okay, and he's saying the crowds mill around his house to see. Ranga has gone outside to study in Bangalore, and after completing or pursuing his education, he is coming back. And then what happens is, as he has come back home, then all the village people rush to his house to see that how he looks, what changes have come to in him, that because he has come from the city and so on, and whether he has changed or not. His ideas about marriage are now quite different, and are they? Or what are his ideas? He has come from a city, so whether he is approaching towards the modern ideas or the traditional things are still there in him. These all things people were very curious to know. That is how the story is. Now, the line by line I'll explain. When you see this title, some of you may ask, this is who the narrator himself is saying. Seeing the title, what is the title? Ranga's marriage. So writer is asking the readers that seeing the title, so many suggestions must have been given to him. That someone would say that why you have kept the title as Ranga's marriage? Why not Ranganatha Vivaha, Ranganatha Vijaya? Well, I know I could have used some other mouth-filling one like Jagannatha Vijaya or Girija Kalyana. These are all synonyms. Kalyana, Girija, then Vivaha. These are all synonyms for what? Marriage. And so the narrator is saying that you must have told me that why so title have you given? You must have. Why not all these titles? Wouldn't have been it appropriate to give all these titles? But then this is not so about Jagannatha's victory or Girija's weddings. He's saying, no, I did not give because I wanted to discuss something else. It is about our own Ranga's marriage, and this shows the intimacy. I did not give the title, the other titles what you people expect, was the narrator says. It is our own, that intimacy. Village people, as it is, they have the bonding between them is far better or closer than the people in the city. So he's saying it is the, why should I give the title so? It is our own Ranga's marriage, and that is why I have given the title so. What else? And hence no fancy title. No, it should be, title should be appropriate regarding to the topic what I am going to discuss. So he's saying no elaborated or accessories added to that, and I did not put the title like that, fancy. Hosahali is our village. What is the name of the village? Hosahali, and where it is? It is in very close to Mysore. Okay, and so there is no mention of it in geography book. Those sahibs in England writing in English, he is talking about those period when we were under the British rule, and saying that though nowhere this village, name of my village is there, because these people who had come from England and all, they never mentioned it, and that is why people thought that it is hardly seen in the geography books. And you know, they our own people too forget it, as those people did not mention. Our own people also hardly know that there really village like this exists. And here he puts a reference that why it is not so, people don't how people have forgotten it. He says that they are like a flock of sheep. You know the identity of sheep or goat, that people, it's a saying also, that when someone doesn't look here and there and whatever is given, he moves on to the straight away, unaware of the things going on around, then they are in a sarcastic manner told that you are like a sheep, flock of sheep. Flock is group. Okay, so the sheep, flock of sheep goes behind each other, and they do not see here and there. One sheep walks into a pit, the rest blindly follow. It means they just follow each other, and one falls on the pit, the whole flock will also fall. So that is how the narrator is trying to say that those days people were such that they never objected, or they whatever came to the before them, or whatever the sahibs or the English people had shown them, they accepted them blindly. And here is saying, but you cannot expect the poor cartographer to remember to put it on the map. Can you? Is saying that do you expect that someone else, a poor cartographer or anyone else would do that? And so there is not even the shadow of our village on any map. And the cartographer who draws and makes maps and all, is saying he also did not dare to, and hardly the name of my village. This shows the writer's attachment and closeness to his village. Sorry, I started somewhere and then went off in another. Why is it saying so? Because the title he has given Ranga's marriage. So the readers would expect that without, instead of telling about the marriage and things, what is he saying? Why he is describing his village. So he apologizes and saying, it is the state of Mysore. If the state of Mysore is to be Bharatavarsha, what the sweet Kariga Dabu, that is a sweet dish. See, the meaning is given. Okay, over here, something sweet made from coconut and jaggery is a festive meal. Then Hosahali is to Mysore state what filling is to the Kariga Badu. Is saying that having this sweet dish, the people as they feel, similarly as important it is in a festive season or in a festival, this dish, similarly Hosahali is so important for the state of Mysore. That is how he highlights the importance of his village. And then and he tries to convince the people that whatever he is saying, it's very true. And then he gives a reference of one person, that is Gunda Bhatta, and he's saying that if he was there, who was he was one of the doctors of the village. So he's saying, had he been there, then also he would have agreed to what he was saying. No, not England. And if it is asked, anyone is saying that have you ever been to England or any other places, because he moved to so many places, then he would say what? No, Anaya. Anaya is a respect. Here also the meaning is given, some respect when you give someone elderly. So this term is used. So he's saying that I have left that to you, running around like a flea pestered dog. He's saying that I haven't left a pestered dog. Dog moves from one place to another in search of food or so on. Doesn't stay at a definite place. So he's saying that no, and as a matter of fact, he has seen many. He has seen so many places, but he likes his village. We have some mango trees. Now he is describing the village. So many mango trees were there in the village, and it happened one time. Once it happened like that he had one raw mango, and he says it was such bitter, it was not to be eaten, but just by a bit he has taken a bite, and what happened? It was so sour that what happened? Go straight to your Brahma, what is that? The skull. That is the meaning also is given. Okay, so he's saying that the sourness was so terrific that it reaches to the brain, the skull. Okay, and then I once took one such fruit home, and a chutney was made. And he gives a reference that it happens like that. People used to say that it's so sour, and he also had come across such thing. He made a chutney out of that, and there the cough he suffered from after that. After that, the problem what he faced, then he had to take medicine and so on. Just as the mango is special, so is everything else around the village. Again, he's showing his closeness and attachment towards the village, that not only mango, so many other things are also there. He gives the reference of the creeper which moves around the pond, and then they happen to go for bath. Then the leaf of this creeper they used to without fail carry home, so that that particular day's meal they would have afternoon meal on that leaves. And as you know, as per the South Indian customs, they have banana leaves are very famous over there. So they have mostly meal on this banana leaf, and here he gives a reference of this creeper. So this is how he tries to explain or how his village was, and what are the things why his village Hosali was so famous. I'll let you know where Hosali is. And then he says that saying all these things, I don't want to waste much time. Who's telling? Narrator. But better if you are interested. He's telling the readers, if you are ever interested, you just leave a note or write a letter to me, and then I would really give you the exact address of the place. The best way it is you visit and know instead of me explaining you about the village. This is how the things went on. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 8 years ago. Now he gives a break, explaining his village, and he's saying, now let me come to the main topic, and that what I am going to say. Narrator is telling what I am going to refer to in this story is that it happened 10 years ago. And what happened? There was an accountant in the village, and no one knew English in the village. Only one accountant was there, and he was the first one who took the courage, means who dared to send his son to go outside and to go for higher studies. And that is where did he go? He was sent to Bangalore. And today's things are very simple. Children go anywhere. But in those days, around 10 years back, or when before this story was written, that is not now, okay, long back, in that village, anyone going out, it was a great thing and great daring. There are many who knew in English. During the holidays, you may come across them on every street talking in English. Those days, we didn't speak in English, nor did we. These days, he says, it's very common. People talking in English and things and all. But in his time, when the story was written, it was really very rare, hardly. And in Canada, hardly anyone was seen. And when this accountant's son went out to study, it was really a issue, or it was really a great matter of great importance in the village. what has happened is disgraceful, believe me. What happened means, how did it was a shame sort of. The other day I was in Ramarao's house, and when they bought a bundle of firewood, Ramarao, this his house, the narrator was, and someone bought a bundle of Ranga's house. Okay, so he's saying someone got a, because in village firewood and things were there those days, gas things, and gas was not there. So what did he do? He found that someone came with a woman came with the firewood, and as the money was to be given, so what was the cost when asked, he came to know that 4 pies, she said, and the boy told her he did not have the change. Who? This boy, Ranga. The lady said that it cost 4 pies or 4 anna. So he did not have the change. And this change word, really, these village people are so innocent, and it's an English word. But this lady did not understand the meaning of this word, and she started muttering and left off. Then Ranga's house, and when I went to Ranga's house and asked him, I understood what he meant. And then he went to Ranga's house later on, and then he was asking, what is this? Why did he use this word? And he understood. This priceless commodity, the English language, was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. Okay, a decade ago is long back. This importance of English was not there in the village, and that is why now Ranga's homecoming means Ranga has come home after his education, and after 6 months almost he was there, he completed his study, and his homecoming was a great event, a great celebration sort of. And so people from every house had gathered, rushed to Ranga's house because they have got the message that Ranga has come home from Bangalore completing his studies. Attracted by the crowd, I too, I is the writer. There was a huge crowd at Ranga's house. So here writer was also attracted, and he also stood there in the courtyard, and he was asking the people, why you have come here? Why is this crowd over here? And he's asking, there's no performing monkey here. Monkey here means, though in villages and all, small entertainment, that is monkey show, puppet shows, and all these things were there. So he's saying no monkey is performing. Why is this crowd gathered over here? Then one of the boys, he started shouting in a loud voice that everyone could hear. What are you doing here then? A youngster, immature and without any manners, is saying that you don't know if monkey is not there, then why do you come here, and why have you joined the crowd? And thinking all these things, we were now of the past, I kept quiet. He did not utter a word. Narrator. Seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Had we all gone inside, the place would have turned into the people called the Black Hole of Calcutta. He's saying there's a place where maybe it should be congested. So he's saying we were standing outside, and Ranga came outside the house. But had this whole crowd re-entered Ranga's house, then he's comparing that place with the Black Hole of Calcutta. Then he's saying everyone was surprised when Ranga came back, and people were very with curious eye looking at Ranga. Okay, curiosity. So why they were looking with curiosity? To see whether any change has come up, because Ranga has gone to study English, as well as he has gone to the city and come back. So, and in course of doing so, what happened? An old lady who was standing next to, she started touching the body of this Ranga to see whether any change has come. And then what did she do? She looked into Ranga's eyes, and then she what was she noticing touching the chest? She was looking at the Janeshwara. What is this Janevara? Janevara is the sacred thread, Brahmins mostly put on. So that she was testing that, going to the city, whether he has thrown it away or not. And then he is telling, no, he has not gone against the caste and things. It is always there. And then she goes off, and Ranga starts laughing. After that, Ranga was still had the same hands. Others were looking whether same hands, legs, his hairstyle, this, there, anything there. And as they found everything was okay, crowd melted away like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. Means a child, when it has some sugar, and slowly and gradually the sugar melts. Similarly, as they found Ranga as he was earlier in the village, what is that? Crowd melted means crowd dispersed, they went off. And then the writer is who was standing there, he was noticed by Ranga, and he asked Ranga how he did he do, how is he, and so on. It was only then Ranga noticed me. He came near me and did a namaskara, respectfully, saying, I am all right with your blessings. And then as soon as Ranga saw, with the custom and tradition here, did he follow, and he did the namaskar, means with joining hands. But I must draw your attention to this aspect of Ranga's character. It's the right narrator is saying that because we are told the story is centered around tradition and modernity. So here is referring, the narrator is saying that at this juncture I would draw your attention, means reader must be cautious that here things have not changed. Would it be to his advantage to talk to someone and rightly assess people's worth? As for his namaskara to me, he did not do it. He is saying that as far as the way he did the namaskara, it was not as these days people do. How? He is explaining like a present days boys with head held, they don't bend properly. So this what is saying, that held up, the head is up to the sun, and then people are standing still like a pole, or then halfway they will touch the feet like a walking stick. Wand is also stick. Nor did he merely fold his hands. Okay, hardly they will fold his hand. Not from far off, Ranga did not just fold the hand and did namaskar, but in a traditional manner. What did he do? He bent low and then touched his feet and said that everything is okay because of his blessings. And after exchanging a few pleasantries, I left. Pleasantries, few talks and all, who the narrator left. That afternoon when I was resting, Ranga came to my house. Narrator was resting. Ranga came to his house and he had few oranges in the hand. A generous, considerate fellow. Who? Ranga. I could be a fine thing to have him marry, settle down and be of service to society, I thought. And this narrator was very happy with Ranga's behavior, and he always wished that Ranga should get a proper match. He should get married and settle down, and that will be the service to the society. For a while he talked about this and that, and then I came to the point, Rangappa, when do you plan to get married? Here and there, exactly directly you cannot say anything, like when are you going to get married? So this narrator talked here and there certain things, and then he is asking Rangappa, that is when are you going to get married? I am not going to get married now, he said. And Ranga replied that he was not ready, he was not going to marry very soon. And the narrator is asking why. Let's see what reply Rangappa gives in the next lecture. Thank you. Thank you for watching the video. We'll see in the next lecture. I'll continue then.